How's it going, my dream people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week 6, I think, of Egg, as this week, your Cotswold Whimsicots, I nearly said Forest Green Snovers, that's been a while, your Cotswold Whimsicots go up against OG Albina and his Carolina Roaring Moon. You can see the 6 that we're bringing above my head and the 6 that he might bring on the layout. Let's have a look. So there's an Aloma Lamola and a Gudra. And there's no Typhlosion. And let's have a look. Aloe. What does a Gudra come out of? Glamora is here. That's really annoying. It's no Slitherwing. Okay, I don't mind that not being here, actually. I think Aloe is preferable to Slitherwing. Gudra. Okay, sweet. Alright. So yeah, go and check out Owen. His channel will be linked down in the description. I would be shocked if you haven't checked him out and you're watching this channel, as he's killing it right now. To be honest, he's one of the first guys I go to watch when I start getting back into draft again, and when I play Mons. He's just a very, very good commentator. So yeah, check him out if you haven't, but I'm sure you have. I'm sure you're very familiar. Right, let's have a think here. We can't really switch into anything on his team, so we're not going to try to. We've just brought sort of 6 offensive Mons, and we're just going to try to, yeah, kind of go hard that way. I now have a kitten crawling across the keyboard. Do I just want to lead off with Hippo? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. We don't switch into Xianpao very well, but we don't switch into anything very well. So my thinking is, if I can lead with Hippo, I can at least start getting like sand going and trying to chip some things. I can potentially, you know, take a hit from something. I've got Rocky Helmet, potentially chip something down. And yeah, if it's this and it's like a Sash lead, obviously Energy Ball is gonna really hurt, but we can Earthquake, put it down to Sash. Didn't see a balloon or anything. He's not terrestrialized, so yeah. Just gonna Earthquake if he chooses to get hazards up. I want to try and just claim KOs early, basically, in this with this kind of a build. Obviously, hazards are not great, but oh, and this is the Battle of the One Piece nicknames I've just remembered, so this is fun. Is gonna get those up, but we do have the Gengar, so it could be worse, you know. I'm just going to Quake again if he chooses to go for like Rocks or Energy Ball or something. So I think we're Spadef, so I think we'll take this. I built this team a while ago. Yeah, we take that decently well. Okay. Just going for break from turn 1. So I built this team with Addison when she was here. We just speed built like all my teams for the rest of the season very quickly. I think we did like 5 teams in 45 minutes or something. So I don't fully remember what everything was supposed to do. I know I can't switch in on this thing, on Bon Clay. But Hippowdon doesn't look that essential for anything else. So on the off chance it's like a setup variant, I'm going to Yawn. Kind of wish I was Whirlwind. Obviously if he was sub, that would be bad. We'll just see what he wants to do here. I don't know this thing's speed tier. What speed tier is Enamorous? I literally don't know anything about this Pokemon. So this is going to obviously destroy me. It's Terra Fairy, Enamorous. Oh, Gengar outspeeds. Sweet, right? Yeah, Gengar outspeeds. Gengar outspeeds, so we can absorb those T-Spikes. If he's Scarf, he's locked to Moonblast. So, it just means that the Spike is left up. We obviously don't get hazards this game, which sucks because of Xianpao, especially if it is... I'm just going to sub. Especially if it is, like, not Boots Xianpao, but, you know, it could be Boots. So, I'm guessing this is the... Oh, okay. I thought we might see the Corviknight come out. So I'm interested that it's this. I mean, obviously this thing is a pretty good Spadef wall, so I can understand it. I'm just going to trick here. Is he Assault Vest? Thing is, I don't want to get an Assault Vest off him. So I'm actually just going to Will-O-Wisp. If it was Corviknight or something that I knew wouldn't be Assault Vest, then I would trick. But there's not an insignificant chance that this is Assault Vest. So, and then I would, you know, Hex when I've got nothing burnt and no T-Spike access would be pretty poor. So, and obviously the Black Sludge. But the Black Sludge would wear him down and would get rid of his Assault Vest, so he would be less bulky. Maybe it would have been the better play. Unsure. So we showed the Earthquake there. I also need to take the Hippowdon off the layout. So huge thank you to Owen as well. I should have said this at the beginning. We just got back from the vets. We were supposed to battle a little while ago. But Emmy, who I showed you in the last video, I'm not going to be gushing about my cat in this video. I was super unfocused about against Mountay, so I apologise for that. It's not like we can switch in on an Earthquake, really, is it? But he is burned. So do you think we take one through the burn? Maybe. I'm just gonna Hex. I think I'm just gonna Hex. I don't see a much better option. Yeah, he's AV. He's for sure AV. Okay. So that's bouncing. So I could go into Hooper if he's just gonna keep clicking Earthquake. I think I need to be aggressive here. I think I need to. Yeah, so sorry. So I had to push back with Owen. We'd already set the competition and everything. I had to push back by like an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. No, about 2 hours actually, because I had to take Emmy to the vets. She's got cat flu, bless her. So she's just got like a bit of conjunctivitis in her eyes, and she's just struggling a little bit, bless her. So we had to take her to the vets, but you know, it is what it is. She's doing okay. They've given us some eye drops and stuff. But the vet's appointment for that cost more than it cost to adopt her. So literally it was more than she's worth. Bullshit. Should I Hyperspace Fury or should I knock? I'm going to Hyperspace Fury. I think the damage output into something like Enamorous would be really useful. Or into this. Maybe getting rid of things leftovers, then I could just Hyperspace Fury it twice later, potentially. I don't know. Forcing it into a Roost also seems kind of good to be able to switch. I wonder if that Goodra is fully physical, because he clearly was spamming Earthquake because he didn't want me to get my sub up, which makes sense. Now, is that because he has Draco and he didn't want to drop a special attack? Or, nah, and he didn't want to miss? He might be fully physical. It might be like Dragon Tail and stuff. Okay, so that did good damage, and I don't think we saw an item there. Might have seen a Rocky Helmet actually looking at my HP that I just missed. So I think we see a Roost or a Body Press come out. With that in mind, I'm going to go Moria rather than Arcanine, because if he does choose to Body Press on the offense, taking the offensive, then this covers that. Okay, U-turn, that's fine. And again, like, I just don't want to rack up damage on the Arcanine for no good reason, like from the U-turn as well. So he now can't switch in on Hyperspace Fury at all, as far as I can see. Obviously, Corviknight can come in on a clean switch, but yeah, that seems pretty good. Zoro comes out. I think you click knockoff, don't you? No, he gets crunch. He doesn't get knockoff. So I think... Can I go into that on a crunch? This was built to take this thing on, right? But with the spike up, does it still take it on? Moria is still kind of useful for revenge killing the Enamorous. So I'm going to go into this, or at least bluffing the Enamorous outright, causing a little bit of chaos with the Enamorous. Like, it doesn't actually revenge kill it, but he doesn't know that. All he knows is I've got sub-Wisp Hex, so he probably thinks Sludge Bomb is the last move. I think it should have been, in hindsight. So I think we'll see a crunch here. Yeah, we chew that. We chew that up. Delicious. Good work, Treble. And then we can Life Dew. I love this, man. Hisuian Sligoo, putting in the work. Well, it's actually done absolutely nothing, but it didn't die instantly, and we call those wins around here. That's a dub. Big Mom comes out. I'm loving the One Piece nicknames. This is so much fun. Just a little bit of recovery, a little bit. It's not like we could do any damage to anything anyway. What does this thing want to do to me? What the hell do you want to do to me? You want to wish something up? Or do you want to wish up the Corviknight? The spike is interfering with me subbing with Scotch is the problem. I'm just losing so much HP on everything. I'm going to be in like Ice Shard range on everything. I could have done with rocks, but I think taking out the Glamora was valuable. Yeah, so we do see the wish. So I just sniped shot, knowing that this thing can't really do much to me. It doesn't have Toxic, I don't think. And knowing that it would do a lot to the Corviknight if the Corviknight came in. The Goodra. The Goodra. I think I'm just going to Ice Beam here. I don't want to sub yet. Because I think he's gonna switch. This gives me something of a middle ground between the Goodra and the. How much does this do then? Fucking nothing. Jesus. Can he break my sub if he's burnt? Let's find out. Let's find out. We gotta make something happen, because otherwise we're just gonna get walled. We're gonna be too passive. So yeah, that's what I thought he probably was. Does that break with a burn? No. Sweet. The crit snipe shot won't do more than that Ice Beam, would it? Otherwise we wouldn't have ran Ice Beam. So it's just Ice Beam. We are Scope Blenders, so you know we could crit the Ice Beam. Keep our fingers crossed. Nothing. Gonna go? Yeah. I'm reluctant to sub again. I think if I get Dragon Tailed out, almost anything that comes in causes him a problem. Not Moria. I think I have to sub again, but then am I in Ice Shard range? Am I going to be in Ice Shard range anyway? I don't think I've got another play. I think I just got to do this. If he Dragon Tails me out, as he just reveals the Power Whip here. Oh, that kills even through the burn. Oh, it crits. That sucks. That sucks, because that was actually our revenge killer for the Enamorous, and I didn't think he could kill me with any move. I guess I should have subbed. That blows. Head Smash. Head Smash picks up a KO, but then it lets in the Shenpao. Hyperspace Fury probably nets a KO. But it also lets in the Shenpao. The reason I'm doing this is I don't know if physically bulky Alomomola could take 2 Head Smashes maybe. I don't want to run that risk. So I'm just going to Hyperspace Fury here. Yeah, so we take this out. Oh man, that sucks. I wonder if that... I feel like that Power Whip wouldn't have killed without the crit, but I mean, who gives a shit? It's Mons. How do I... How do I recover from this situation? Well, I update the layout for starters, because that must drive some of you guys crazy that I'm so bad at updating that. Maybe I should have let Gengar go down sooner. I feel like I've misplayed the Gengar. I think I've overvalued it in this matchup. Like, if I were to play this again, I think I would look at it and say, okay, Gengar, like, really did its bit just burning the Goodra and whittling it down with Hex. Like, and maybe I would have just tricked next time, taken the Assault Vest, because I think I thought it would be able to stat a spread and Hex more than it has been able to. I think it was a little bit, like, naive of me. Because now we sack it here. So yeah, I think I've misplayed this. Like, that's why I'm not gonna, you know, well, I'm not really a bitch or a moaner about hacks anyway, but that's especially why I'm not gonna complain about the crit or anything, because I think I could have done better. That's interesting. Am I stupid to go into this? There's nothing to say he's choice locked. He could just U-turn and still kill me. Will he fear the gunk shot and switch? This is the safer play. And try and bluff the Scarf, because if he earth powers, I'm dead anyway. I'm not going to bluff the Scarf. Now, do I attack what's in front of me, or do I make the prediction? I think we're in the back, so I'm going to make the prediction that he switches. If we were in the lead there, like, maybe I could have gunk shot and just, you know, attack what's in front of me, but I don't think we're in a good enough position to make that kind of a play, so... Of course, this thing being Rocky Helmet means that we're getting closer and closer to Ice Shard range. If I'm right that this was Rocky Helmet and I just missed it, it would be weird that it would be not leftovers and not something like that, and the amount of HP we'd lost to that spike seemed wrong, so... Oh, it's not Rocky Helmet. I wonder what it was then. Doesn't matter. We Hyperspace Fury again, and we take a KO. We also need to get Gengar off the layout. This has been a good game. I've enjoyed this one. I like games where, you know, you feel like you're thinking, like, what can I do better? This doesn't feel like a Gen 9 game to me. A lot of the Gen 9, I'll give you my general views on the meta game now. After playing, what, 6 weeks now? I feel like this metagame, the top stuff, the top offensive threats, I said this in the Discord chat so people in the league will know, but I think the top offensive threats are so power creeped, especially in a limited dex. Maybe in Nat dex it's different, but with a limited dex, they're so strong. Like this guy. They're so strong that I feel like... Who do we go into? I mean, I don't feel like you do well against anything anymore, and we can potentially get an E-Speed off. Anyway, yeah, I think the top threats are so strong, the top offensive threats are so strong, that this metagame feels like a super, like, offensive... Yeah, it just goes for the crunch, but we do take that, and we are able to fire off an E-Speed, which is nice. He could switch Aloe, but I don't think he would do that unless he's... Yeah, I don't think he will switch Aloe. Unless he's Rocky Helmet. He might fear the Scarf. I don't know if we'd die to Life Orb Rocky Helmet. We probably would. So maybe this was an incorrect play. Maybe just head smash him. Yeah, because he might fear double Scarf. Because he saw I'm not Boots. Yeah, I think this was the wrong play actually, E-speeding here. Oh no, we get it right. We get... As I say, I don't know if it was the right play in terms of, you know, an objective stance or whatever, but it was a fine thing. Yeah, he just Ice Shards. That makes sense, because that way if I'm Scarf, you'll still kill me, and if I'm not Scarf, the most I can do is E-Speed you. Do you think Hooper, Hyperspace Fury... Oh, I kind of need those Hyperspace Furies. Do you think Hooper knockoff kills from this point? Do you think Hooper Gunk Shot kills from this point? Because I don't want to go into this and have to Thunder. Let me think. I think I need the last Hyperspace Fury to fuck up Aloe. No, I probably need to Zen Aloe. But if he switches into Aloe here on my Hyperspace Fury, that's really bad. So I'm going to Gunk and hope I land. Do I die to Ice Shard anyway? Yeah. Okay, we were done then. There was no way Sliggoo could have done this. I forgot about the Ice Shard, I will not lie. I was thinking Sucker Punch, even though he just showed Ice Shard. I totally forgot that was a thing. But there's no way Sliggoo could have done enough here. He always could have just preserved this. Like, what I'm saying is he could have gone into Aloe on the Sliggoo. If I hadn't gone Hooper there, would have eaten the Flash Cannon. I couldn't Thunder through an Aloe. Then I could have tried to go Hooper on the Aloe, but we didn't have enough sacks left, basically. It would have come down to a sack race, and he would have won it. But it does get a kill. Yes, Sliggoo. I'm going to update the layout, even though we've already lost, just for the fact you did that, Sliggoo. Oh, good job. Yeah, sorry. So I was saying, so my opinion on this metagame is that I think it's a little bit unbalanced at the top heavy with too much offense. And I think that it's made for a metagame where, like, things like priority, fast stuff is just king. And I guess we life do in case somehow we you know, tank this, but we don't. I guess I could have thundered and tried to para him. But we die. It doesn't matter. So yeah, GG to Owen. Just to finish that thought, I think I drafted obviously poorly. Anyway, that was the idea. I just want to try fun stuff, and it's worked. Like it's made me learn. Like, okay, this isn't really working. That isn't really working. But you could see by the way I played the Hippo in the early game. What I'm kind of starting to think about this meta game is like take a KO when it's there, because in Mons often anyway it comes down to a sack race. But in past gens, you could have defensive win cons as well as offensive win cons. You know, I had games where I could win because my Gastrodon could survive against everything left and wear them down. My, what's the sandcastle called? Palisandre is another one I like to use. Hippowdon, you know. These are mons where I could just outlast my opponent. People will say stall, whatever. It's not true. But they could be win cons in the last gen. It wasn't all about sack, 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 take one, you take one, I take one. Like this game here, you could see he was able to do it a little bit with the combination of Aloe and Corviknight because of my team's own deficiencies. But even when he brought that Corviknight in, he U-turned. He didn't roost with the Corviknight. I feel like last gen, when he brings that Corviknight in on Hooper and it takes 45% from the Hyperspace Fury, last gen, I think you roost because you're like, it's okay, like I can outlast or whatever. This gen, you're like, I got to keep the pressure up. This is a sitting duck. Sliggoo, for example, it was a good example where I life dude, I should have doubled. Because leaving the Sliggoo on the field, that's a turn that I'm not getting a kill. And it's going to lead to a turn where he probably will. So, yeah, my thoughts on this metagame is that it's super aggressive, super offensive. I don't actually think that's healthy. Some people think that's more entertaining. Fair enough. But for me personally, I think in order to have the best... In order to cater to the widest variety of players, I think you should have the widest variety of play styles available. And maybe that's a very Smogon attitude, but that's how I see it. So to me, I think this metagame at the minute... Terror isn't helping with that because Terror obviously massively is great for offense. I think this metagame is quite a bad one. Not to say it's unenjoyable, it's fun sometimes, but I could not like grind this metagame like I used to because it's too one track. Now maybe Natdex is totally different, Showdown totally different, but for me on Wi-Fi, it's too much. Every game's a little bit samey, and it's not that. There is definitely room for creativity, don't get me wrong, but it's creativity in offense, not in differing playstyles. That's just my opinion anyway. And it's an early opinion. You guys know I haven't played loads of this gen. I still don't know what a lot of stuff does. I didn't know what speed tier and Amorous was, for example. But that's my general overview. Not that probably anyone cares. If you did care, if you listened to that, let me know down below, because I'd love to know if anybody actually listens to my ramblings. I'll leave it there. GG to Owen. Super good battle. Super well-deserved win. Thank you so much for loafing around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.